God, I clicked on the invoker has a broom handle too. It's like there's thousands of gold of net worth. There's thousands of gold of net worth that are sitting in people's backpacks, man. So our Phantom Lancer. Hello friends, only listens to audiobooks and still tells people that he reads books here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of Dota Alchemy, in which we're going to be looking at the difference between legend carry players and Sumail playing carry. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So if we head on over to the player net worth graph of our legend game, we can see that our legend Phantom Lancer player, our carry player that we're going to be taking a look at, has 2.8k net worth at 10 minutes. So almost certainly in most games, the laning stage can, or at the very least should, be over at 10 minutes. And if we look at the team XP and net worth graph at 10 minutes, there's no huge substantial lead. In fact, the win percentage was even favoring the losing team, the Radiant team, in this game for the majority of the laning stage. If we head over to our Sumail replay, however, and we look at the player net worth graph, we can see that at 10 minutes, Sumail had 5.3k net worth. And then once again, the team XP and net worth advantage was not substantially swinging in either direction, a little bit in favor of Sumail. So this was a particularly decent game. With that being said, this is double the net worth. This is not an inconsequential amount. This is a lot of net worth to have be the difference between two of the exact same hero. And I totally understand. The legend PL might look at this video and say, hey, Jenkins, man, it wasn't a good game for me. I just, I fed a couple of times. It wasn't great. And maybe you should take a look at one of Sumail's bad games. And I totally understand that. That's totally acceptable. You can't play extremely well in every single game of Dota. That's something we have to accept. We're all human. But with that being said, I watched both of the replays, and there are some stark differences in terms of very easy to fix things where Sumail did something to salvage a lane, and our legend PL player could have done that exact same thing to salvage the lane, and it just didn't happen. So the first big mistake in this game is lack of sending out resources on the courier. The itemization is incredibly greedy in the laning stage. So I want to set this up by taking a look at the first couple of waves, and we can look and see that it's going pretty well. There's obviously going to be some of these small mechanical misplays, but they really don't matter that much in the grand scheme of things. You just play a lot of Dota and you're going to get better at these. So we get a kill on the Omni Knight to start, then we get a kill on the Kunkka as the laning stage starts. We walk over here, Omni Knight feeds. So now we have 3 kills in this tri-lane, and 2 of them are on our Phantom Lancer. And this is where it's almost impossible to lose this lane without it being called a throw. And here's the throw. Take a look at what is on the courier. So he has 1 Slippers of Agility, 1 Wraith Band Recipe, and a Tango. So he's got about 300 gold of net worth in these random items, and then he's got a Tango. But look at his HP, look at his mana, look at how this lane has been going so far. So if he uses all of his Tangos, this is going to put him to full HP. It's not going to put him to full mana, and it's not going to give him any resources for future kills. But there's already been 3 kills in this lane, so they know that there's going to be a lot of fighting happening here. So what should be happening here? What should be happening is on the courier, he should be sending out probably a stick, probably a salve and a tango, maybe a salve and a mango, something along those lines, because he needs way more resources than what he's expecting in this lane. He's expecting to completely free farm, even though this lane has not gone in a kind of free farming manner up until this point whatsoever. And we can see, if we speed up here, how this impacts our PL. And if we keep watching, he dies. Now, the only reason he dies here, he was at an HP threshold that is killable. He was a little bit below the 60% HP threshold, and that's enough to kill him. If he had sent out a salve at first, if he had sent out a stick, and he'd be getting all of this regen from all of the spells, the plethora of spells that are being cast in this lane, he wouldn't be able to die here. But he died because he was greedy and he wanted an extra Wraith Band. In fact, he even has a Wraith Band recipe in a circlet sitting in his backpack. Our Phantom Lancer in the Legend game goes to the jungle at about 10 minutes, whereas in the Sumail game, he goes to the jungle at about 7 minutes. Now, I think in this game, our Phantom Lancer should have actually gone to the jungle even earlier at about 6 minutes in the situation where he had to walk all the way back to lane, just because it is a huge waste of time to walk all the way back to lane. You get to the lane at about 7 minutes anyway, which is the exact time that Sumail would go jungle, presumably because the neutral items start spawning. So you may as well just mix up those two ideas. And okay, well, it's 6 minutes. I want to jungle at 7, but I have to walk back to the lane, so it'll be 7 minutes at the point that I hit the lane anyway. So I'm going to go jungle until it hits 7 minutes, and the lane is incredibly hard. So why go back into a situation that is bad for me? So I think that if our boy here jungled earlier, his supports would have more experience, they would have more gold, he would have more experience, he would have more gold, and he would probably have 2 less deaths if he was thinking about the jungle and playing more defensively and playing more greedily, as opposed to thinking that this is his lane and he needs to pressure it. So next, I do want to give a trigger warning to any support players in the audience. If you are easily offended or if you have an upset stomach, I would definitely look away, because this is one of the more gruesome things that I have seen on the internet. So we can see here we have our Phantom Lancer boy in the Legend game. He is jungling, he's got a keen optic in his inventory, he's farming the hell out of these neutrals and getting neutral items. So honestly, at this point, we're going to pause here. I would say this is remotely okay. You're a Phantom Lancer, maybe the 1 mana regen. You want to farm faster and be greedy and farm with the Spirit Lance. The cast range, it increases your Spirit Lance cast range. Sure, okay. I think you probably are better off giving this to somebody, especially this guy here on the Shadow Shaman. But I digress. Sure, let's accept it up until this point. Let's say that as this guy is walking by here, maybe you shouldn't give it to him. Even though he's a Shadow Shaman and you're just jungling and doing nothing with the item and he could be running around killing people, let's pretend that all doesn't matter. And it's actually good for you to farm more quickly. Now watch this. Let's take a look at the clock. So it's about 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And we're going to 8x this, maybe even 16x this. Hitting neutrals, hitting more neutrals, TP to the triangle. Oh, another item, a Faded Brooch. Wow, that's a good one. 225 mana, 25 move speed. Okay, 11 minutes. That was when we started just about getting the outpost. That's pretty good. That's not bad. So the movement's not honestly all that bad. Picking up the bounties. Oh, wow, that really helps out the team there. Picking up those bounties. You're very, very thoughtful. Oh, what was that? Another situation where Shadow Shaman is near you? If only you had some items that would very much benefit his game on an early game hero in a game where you're losing the early game. Anyway, let's just continue here and just keep watching. I mean, you can see where this is going. I think he gave it to the Mirana. Okay, no, sorry. Okay, yeah, oh, he did give it to the Mirana. Great. God, I clicked on the Invoker has a broom handle too. It's like there's thousands of gold of net worth. There's thousands of gold of net worth that are sitting in people's backpacks, man. So our Phantom Lancer, he's had the Faded Brooch for like 5 minutes, and he had the Keen Optic, which is one of the best tier 1 items, for like 8-9 minutes. That's just unfathomable. We just have these huge windows of time where entire items are going unused. Like, this isn't even the Invoker's using this in his inventory. It's in his backpack. It literally does nothing here. And neither does this. I'm sure this guy has empty slots. Look, Shadow Shaman has 4 possible empty slots. Clockwork too. He's got mangoes, he's got Iron Branch. Look at the Mirana's putting the Keen Optic. No, she has it in her backpack. Okay, guys, let me tell you, man. Just use neutral items. Just use them. They're so good. So there were quite a few places similar to this where our Legend Phantom Lancer player could have turned the game and gotten a huge net worth lead on his hero, but it wasn't taken for whatever reason. It might be laziness, it might be being tilted or tired or whatever it is. These situations, at the very least, were there. And I want to show you one of the most obvious ones. So here we have Shadow Shaman chilling on the top lane. He made the right decision in going up here, actually, because he's got Serpent Wards, he's got Ether Shock, he wants to push this lane in and possibly get this tower in response to this situation that is happening bot. We have Mirana, it's getting killed by Omni, Lion, and Kunkka. So there's 3 heroes bot on the dire side, and we see on this ward the highest level on the enemy team. The Puck is out of mana and resources and just chilling in the jungle. So top, we have Weaver, seen on this sentry. We actually have vision of all 5 of the enemy heroes. We have complete information in this game, which is honestly a rarity. So this is an easy decision to make. So watch what happens with this Shadow Shaman. Weaver runs at him. Shadow Shaman is like, why the hell is this happening? How is this possible? This is a solo Weaver. Drops his Serpent Wards, uses the Shackles, and Weaver dies. Weaver feeds. So the unfortunate thing here, obviously Shadow Shaman got 700 gold for that. That's fantastic. But with that being said, he didn't get the XP bounty. Nobody got the XP bounty. And look at the Weaver's levels. Almost level 12. If somebody gets this solo XP bounty, they are going to be a force to be reckoned with. And let's watch our Phantom Lancer's perspective during this time. Looks bot. Oh, I'm not going to show up to that. That looks really bad, which is the correct play. Look at the minimap. Watch the Shadow Shaman. We can see what's happening top on the minimap, but instead we keep our camera, we being the Legend Phantom Lancer, on the neutral creeps, and we don't even micro. Like, what's the point in having the camera here if we're not going to micro out of the Centaur Stomp? I mean, it doesn't even matter. It's a tiny efficiency thing. What matters is, watch this. Watch how close our Phantom Lancer was to this kill that happened top. Farming this camp. Now, this is about when, actually quite a few seconds before this, our Phantom Lancer looked bot. He saw, well, this shit looks bad. I'm not going to that. But now I see 3 heroes bot. I see 1 hero mid. So the top lane is free. So I think he should have the same thought process as this Shadow Shaman is. I'm going to go to the farthest away place from the enemy team's death ball. And at the very least, if he just walks over towards the tier 1 tower instead of going to this neutral camp here and getting stomped by the centaurs, he's going to be around for this kill on the Weaver, which would be a massive level boost. This is a level 6 PL and a level almost 12 Weaver. That would be possibly the comeback, is this Weaver feeding. But instead, our PL kept the camera on the neutral creeps. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. I do appreciate you. If you want more content like this, head on over to my personal channel, which I will be linking in the description. I will be posting a second video very similar to this, where we're going to be looking at kind of general Legend mistakes, because that was requested when I did the Archon video. Somebody said, hey, Jenkins, I'm Legend. A lot of people that watch this channel were Legend. Do Legend, please. So it's going to be on that channel. So anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in another video.